marriage to remain a virgin, because that's really the only thing besides your cooking ability and your ability to be a wife and mother is the only things you bring to a marriage. And you realize that you're not good enough, you don't have enough experience, and you've built up an impossible scenario in your head by decades of emotional and spiritual indoctrination that doesn't and can't live up to the expectations of what all these men have been deceiving you about. You create women that aren't satisfied with their married life because sex is the most important thing that exists in their world. And it's not. I grew up never knowing that there are a lot of married couples that don't want sex at all. Or they don't want relationships, or they just want a relationship without the sex part, which is the very stereotypical asexual people. I grew up in an environment where they erased anything that wasn't white, straight, and heterosexual. And I mean the most boring, stereotypical white Baptist couple imaginable. Think like the Duggars, and you'd be about right. And it was so sad how these women would waste decades of their life married to men who used them, lied to them. Of course, now I'd probably, I'm pretty sure at least 4 women my mother counseled were married to Baptist narcissists. Women are not taught how to protect themselves, how to have a voice, how to communicate their desires, because they haven't a clue what their desires are, because they've never been allowed to even consider exploring that. They're basically unable to voice their own internal struggles, where sex is basically something, according to the Webster Dictionary, that starts with men, ends with men, and women are really never mentioned. And the receiver in the act could be anything, especially if you're in certain communities which don't exist in the Baptist Church. Women are downplayed to being tools to be used, objects. Men want to be in charge, but the moment they act in a bad way, they're no longer in charge and they were led astray by a tempting woman. There's very little accountability to how women are treated. Consent, agency, autonomy did not exist in any church I went to. The words were never discussed. Once you got married, in the Baptist churches and Calvinistic fundamentalist churches I went to, once you said I do, you gave lifelong consent. And you were shamed or silenced or divorced if you didn't perform what you were told to do. Women were silent. And if a man didn't do what he was supposed to do, I don't think many of the women could voice their discomfort. And they wouldn't know what discomfort probably is, because they were taught to discomfort was a part of being a woman. You sucked it up and ran with it. And that's not the way loving relationships are supposed to work. But in these kind of high control religions, marriage isn't about love, happiness, and comfort. It's about holiness. And holiness has nothing to do with consent, mutual respect, and just having the basic decency of being near another human being. And women in a lot of these fundamentalist sects are treated as though they're a bargaining chip. I mean, they're so indoctrinated. Your husband could be arrested for a federal crime involving children, and she can't or won't divorce him. And I'm not saying she has to, But I would not want to be married to somebody who's known for certain things.